Hey guys, got a treat for you. This is a fan I've been looking for a long time, or at least some variation thereof. I have loved these type of fans, these CEC vented spinners, ever since I was a kid. There was a place, Andy may remember, Andy is here, in Hilldale Mall called Wolf Kubley. You ever go to Wolf Kubley?
Yes. In fact, it was one of our Christmas shopping go-to places before they relocated.
Not unlike Dorn Hardware, which is another local hardware chain, Wolf Kubley was a franchise that went far and beyond the store that it is a franchise of. Dorn Hardware is True Value, but it's, way cooler than your average True Value, and they have way more stuff. Wolf Kubley was an Ace franchise, but it was way cooler than your average Ace franchise. And included in Wolf Kubley was a place called Dykeman's, which sold and repaired clocks. And they had their own little section of the store that had just walls and walls and walls of clocks. And up against one of the walls, with the blades basically touching, was one of these in polished brass. And there's a picture of it in the Yahoo group that I took when they were still around. That store has since been torn down, and they've reopened another location. I don't think it's as cool. But I'd always loved that fan. It had a 4-foot pull chain with a tassel on the end. It was in polished brass. And other than the finish and the canopies, it was the same as this one. Do you remember that fan at all, Andy?
I remember there being a spinner fan there. I don't remember the detail that you do.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. And I believe they sold that fan at Menards, because I can remember seeing it in the Menards ads when I was a kid. I never actually saw it at Menards, which is interesting, but I saw it in the Menards ads. But when they drew it in the Menards ads, they never drew it with vents, which was interesting to me. So it always led me to believe there was also a non-vented version, which I'd like to find. So I have memories as a kid of there being a version with a lower canopy, but as an adult, or even as a young collector, I never saw one with a lower canopy, and I couldn't remember where I saw it as a kid. So I was trying to think about, well, maybe I'm wrong, maybe there never was one with a lower canopy. And then some years ago, a collector posted a picture of a white one with a lower canopy on VintageCeilingFans.com, and I was super excited because I've been looking for that version for a very long time. Since then, 2 others have popped up with lower canopies. Another collector found one, and I tried to get it, but they never replied to me. And then there's one in a YouTube video that is not a collector's video. I think it's kids throwing stuff in a fan, and I left a comment on that too, trying to get it, but nobody has followed up. Both of those are cane, and at least one of the other ones is different in terms of the canopies. They all have this upper canopy, but most of the other ones have the same upper and lower canopy. This one has a different lower canopy. This is also the first one to have turned up labeled Sierra. It also says Litco Enterprises, which I've never seen on Sierra before. Amarillo, Texas. That's pretty cool. So this is the first of its kind to turn up. Another collector found this for me, and it's part of a trade. I think they're trading it for something a little bit more valuable, so... Well, yeah, we got to flesh that out, but a big thank you to them for picking this up for me. And this is also, I think the one that a different collector spotted in Texas was variable speed, but I don't believe any of the YouTube ones are variable speed. So that's another thing about it that's unique. Okay, that's my story, and I'm
Sticking to it.
I am sticking to it. So let's turn the amp meter on and let's start the video. This is variable speed on, it has a reverse pull chain. The amp meter is going nuts. So let's see if I can get it to be cooperative. This is a very cheap amp meter, but I don't need a high-end one for these videos. I just need it to cooperate. There we go. So I believe it's set to low forward, drawing 0.2. There's no current rating on it. There's a tag on the top of the fan with a number, but no other information. Other thing that's different about this one, I should have pointed out before I started up, is like, what brand is that? Like the Supreme version of this, the blades, what's the word? There's a word that other collectors use. the blades are angled backwards. Like instead of being straight, they're angled backwards. Man, there's a word that other collectors use for that, and I can't remember what it is. I mean, they're just tilted back. So that's low with the variable speed knob. Let's go 1/8 of a turn, 0.21. That really didn't make a difference. Let's go a 1/4 turn, 0.27. Not a huge difference. So Andy actually likes vented spinners. So I've been trying to talk him into one of these for his kitchen. What are your thoughts on this one so far?
It's nice. I like it a lot. I agree with you. It would hang too low.
I mean, we can put a shorter down rod on. This is a much longer down rod than it needs. But by the way, 0.38 now. But having both a bell upper canopy and a lower canopy,
yeah,
it's going to hang low regardless. Now, do you know how tall your ceiling is there?
It's an 8-foot ceiling.
Okay, so this is like 9 where the fan is hanging. Let's see, another 1/4 turn takes us to high, which is 0.5. We forgot to measure it. I will measure it once it stops. You can tell it's moving a lot of air, but it's not like a huge breeze right under the fan. Like, you know, some industrials where you can the breeze is not super direct right under the fan.
Yeah, it's there, but
it's more spread out.
Yeah.
You can definitely feel something from it at this distance. Seems to be on a par. It's close to a 52-inch K55 fan, but maybe a little bit less. Hard to say, especially because it's definitely smaller than 52. You ready for me to stop it? You want to get another angle there?
Yeah, go ahead and stop it.
I think this will just turn it off. So let me find something to prop the camera up so that I can measure it once it stops. Yeah. There's actually a church that I played for only once here in Madison that's now been torn down. It was over there by Southtown Drive that had a non-lower canopy version of this in the church kitchen. And it hung down super low, like way lower than this. It had, I think it had a 5 light on it.